Hi. Hope you guys are doing well. I'm sorry that we haven't really been in contact for a while. It's been absolute chaos lately. It's been like, let's just talk about it. Here we go. So, I think since the last time we had a video, it was right around the time that we were about to release Alone I Stand. As most of you know, we released a song. It's been on Spotify and iTunes and all that stuff. And we've been getting a great response from you guys. And we thank you all so much for the positive feedback, the comments, sharing the song, letting people know that it exists, all that stuff. It's incredibly helpful. And, it also lets us know that we didn't mess up, that you guys like the song. So thank you all so much for that. As of recently, we've had so much stuff going on all at once. It's been like this whirlwind of things. Most recently, I got really sick. And, over the weekend, I had a 104, 105 fever and was laid up on my couch, basically hallucinating and thinking I might have to go to the hospital. Fortunately, I didn't go to the hospital. And at this point, while I'm still not feeling that great, my throat's still messed up, I still have a double ear infection. I'm not as miserable as I was, so I'm on the mend. Things are heading in the right direction, I think. So yeah, since the last episode, we played a show over in Nyack, New York at Olives, part of NYDM's annual Christmas Time in Hell show. And it was a really cool experience. We got to play with our buddies in Full Scale Riot. The dudes in the band Clothesline turned out to be incredibly awesome. Like, I'd never heard of them before, and I got to catch their set, and I dug it. I want to set up more shows with those dudes because they were great. And the Clay people were wild too. Like, I definitely want to go and see those guys when they're playing again. Hopefully I can find out some details about that because I don't go out. I should. I probably should go out, and I want to change that. And Full Scale Riot, they're always great. Those are my dudes. And beyond that, a lot of it has just kind of been run-of-the-mill stuff, working on new material, been trying to really gate down the structure of this new single that we're going to be putting out, tentatively called Misleader. And, it's been interesting kind of observing the creative process as it's being spread out from just being me in here writing to then being distributed over to John and Dan as well, and seeing where this new song is kind of shaping up to be. I knew that going into this new material that I wanted to be different from the stuff that we've put out previously. And with Alone I Stand, I think we accomplished that goal, and I think we did it in a fairly eloquent way, without it losing the characteristics that make our fears, because you guys said it didn't suck. So that's an indicator to me that it turned out okay. And this new song, I think you guys are gonna like it. It's got a little bit more of an up-tempo feel to it, so that'll get the kids dancing, right? That's the end game. In addition to that, I've been working on new merch designs. I've been trying to send out fan art to some of the people that have been holding us down for years at this point. We got fans in a lot of places where we haven't been able to get to go and play a show. And I feel like you guys deserve something in return for being so awesome to us and for staying committed to your awesomeness for such a long time. So I've been working on that. And yeah, it's been a fun time. Let's see, what else? So we booked a bunch of upcoming shows, and right after we booked all of them and confirmed everything, we lost our drummer. Yeah, Taylor, he realized that after he initially thought that he had time for playing drums with the band and being in a band and doing all this stuff, that with his running and his new business that he just started, that he doesn't have enough time to really commit to being in a band. And, it is what it is. But unfortunately, it's news that came after we had already said that we were all available for a bunch of shows. And so, fortunately, our buddy Anthony was gracious enough to fill in for us for the show that we had at Olives. And he's going to be filling in on drums at Dingbats when we play there on January 11th. Which, by the way, that show's going to be epic, and you should be there. It's going to be Disciples of Verity's first New Jersey show, and that's including guys like Corey Glover from Living Color, Corey Pierce from God Forbid, and George Pond from Negative Sky. So it's going to be my brain. That's why I had a fever the other day, because I was thinking about the show and the fact that we're going to be playing that show, and my brain was just like, everything's on fire. But yeah, we have pre-sale tickets, and you should hit us up for those as soon as you can because they're going fast. I've been bringing mine with me to work, and everyone's been buying them, so you need to get on top of it. Do it now. Additionally, I'm playing an acoustic show this weekend at Club Rock, so that's going to be cool. With a little bit of luck, I'll be able to have this new song like solidified, and I want to try it out at the show just to get a feel for it, get a feel for playing it and singing it, just kind of like figuring out what melodic lines truly work in that sort of setting. Because for me, I can have a melody in my head, but that melody will definitely change as soon as it comes down to how it feels for me to be exerting myself with strumming on an acoustic guitar and singing. So, I don't know, you want to hear some new music? Come out to Club Rock this weekend. Be a good time. Yeah, I tried to go in and track vocals, or at least start tracking vocals with John over at our studio recently, just trying to demo out this song.
I'm gonna need you to tell me if this is actually working.
Sure.
I'm gonna put it down first. I think the chord is fucked up or something.
Okay.
I'm just gonna play something.
Ah!
Asshole. Freaking Selena Gomez, that
She's got some nice singles out right now.
yeah, man. Watch it go.
Oh my god.
I was like, yeah. Yeah, don't do that.
Rather than just being like right up in everyone's grill, being like, let's talk about fucking guitar. But I should probably should go in with all the lyrics written before I go to record them. I've been brought down by this old hurt, but it seems that my soul still wanders around while my body's fed to the wolves. I can't tell you where to go from here. I owe you no explanation, not this time. I can't go. I don't remember the words of my song.
It's all good. It's new. No one should know the words of this song.
Fuck. I know some guys are able to write lyrics in the studio on the fly and figure out the melodies and stuff like that, but I like to sit down with stuff and really give it some thought before going in to execute. I find that with that extra amount of time being paid, I find that extra attention being paid to the details definitely pays off, because when I go in and track vocals, for real, it's like wham, bam, done. No lollygagging. And yeah, so we tried. But I'm going to have the rest of the song written hopefully by the end of this week, and hopefully I'll be playing it this weekend. We'll see what happens. And I want to like stack a whole fuck ton of harmonies for those.
I just made like 5 tracks. I was like,
get the fuck out of here.
I know a thing or two about you, Miles. I heard of you before.
Do you think I should try to harmonize that whole first line?
Me personally, for scratch purposes, and also because I've been doing this as practice, harmonize the whole fucking thing.
I'm not gonna harmonize the whole thing. I think maybe the first line is a definite possibility.
Okay, how about this then? If you have to remotely think about it like you're doing right now, do it. And then that way I could literally just grab sections and hit mute. You hear it with it, hear it without it. Hear it with it, hear it without it.
Well, I could definitely figure out a line for at least the first line in the verse melodically. Beyond that, because the chord changes are kind of weird.
Oh, okay.
I'd have to sit with it.
Okay.
But you know what? Let me try to do the first portion of it, because that's just going from F sharp minor to C sharp. So, no half diminished chords.
Ready?
Yeah.
Just remember, man, you did it to yourself. But
yeah, overall, the band morale's been good. Everyone's been feeling productive and positive. And, you know, even with there not being a drummer in the picture, we've just been continuing forward. You guys are going to be doing the group vocal part in the chorus.
Well, how's it go?
I am a man, and then alone I stand.
Okay. Oh my god!
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I have sustains where those vocals come out. I just remember to.
It's the first part. The I am.
No, that's fine for me.
That one's fine.
No, that'll be fine. I just gotta sit there and get that.
He's got it, John.
Yeah,
What's
I
your
got
problem?
I was gonna find out how to sound not like an angry hillbilly when I do that.
I am a man. Your life, my hands. I'm tracking ideas here, I just use the drum machine that's on my computer, and I do everything that way. And if it comes down to it, our buddy Anthony said that he'd be down to track in the studio when the time comes, and that time is going to be coming very soon. But yeah, so that's really been it. We've been trucking along. I got asked recently if we're going to be putting together a new album, and to be honest, I don't know. You know, it's one of those things where it seems like it wouldn't be beneficial necessarily to put out an album at this point, just because I think it's more beneficial to put everything out in smaller doses. You know, maybe 2 songs at a time, and do it that way. And if we did an album, we put it out as like a deluxe thing where there's like extra tracks on it or something. But for the most part, I'd rather just put out these songs 1 at a time, 2 at a time, and just do it that way. People still reach out to me to tell me how much they love Hopeful Hopeless. And, you know, honestly, that's great. Because that album I put everything into that album. And, you know, as an album, I think it serves well because there is this continuity within the tracks that goes on throughout the duration of the whole thing. And not necessarily for every track on that album, but for some tracks, if you take them out of the context of the album itself, they kind of lose some of their significance, or just like they sort of lack a purpose. And so I think that album works with that format in mind. Not to say that these new songs wouldn't work as an album. I would love to put out an album, but I think it's just easier for listeners to digest smaller amounts of information. And it takes some of the pressure off of us as a band because we can put more focus onto 2 tracks rather than 12 at a time. And I mean, who knows? We might end up releasing it as an album at some point with some bonus tracks, and we'll do like a deluxe thing. But for now, 1 at a time, 2 at a time. It's just easier. And when we go back to the studio, you'll be there firsthand to see it all go down. But for now, I'm gonna go take some more medicine, probably go lay back down on the couch. I've been sweating this whole time because, yeah, sick. But yeah, on behalf of the band, I wanted to reach out and just tell you guys thank you for everything. Thank you for your continued support. And I wish you all a happy new year. This show this weekend at Club Rock is going to be the last Our Fear show of 2019. So if you're in Boonton, come by. If you're not, no pressure. It's no big thing, but I'd love to see you. And if anything, we'll see you on January 11th at Dingbats. All right? You guys be well. Talk to you soon on the interwebs. Mwah.
That was great. That was the best. Just like